Oh, boy!
With the influx of curious visitors like us, Bong and Tito Greg hope that by making tourism beneficial for the Dumagats, the tribe will see the value in preserving their indigenous skills and traditions.
Ang isang presentasyon natin doon sa mga bitag natin, may tamang takdang halaga na ibibigay doon sa pagpapakita ng ating kultura.
We've actually encouraged them to bring it out in a presentation to be viewed by outsiders, and they actually get paid just to show off things that they naturally do.
Rambo!
To cap off day one of our Dingalan adventure, Tito Greg treated us and the whole Dumagat community to dinner by the beach.
Your dad, Norman.
Good. All mine. Thank you, Tito. Our Dingalan adventure continues with the trek up Tanawan Falls. Stay tuned for that after the break.
To experience a unique ecotourism adventure, Round Trip Tours and Travel offers guided tours to Dingalan Town in Aurora Province. Learn more about this beautiful place and be a part in its conservation efforts. For inquiries, call Round Trip Tours and Travel at these numbers.
The following morning brought us to a clay and rock slope in Barangay Tanawan.
Now, Bong, what exactly is that behind us, and what do we have to look forward to up there?
That is now the Tanawan Bird Sanctuary.
Okay.
It's still part of the Sierra Madre Range. It's one of the last few patches of forest that we have here in Dingalan.
The hill's base up to Tanawan Falls was an easy 1 kilometer trek passing both the scenic and surreal side of Dingalan.
As we are walking towards the waterfalls, we'd have terrain like that where it's very flat, no trees, medyo kalbo, and then higher there'd be trees and vegetation. They're telling me it wasn't like this. All the bald areas used to be full of vegetation. So I appreciate hanging out with them because, again, their key word is awareness. I'm now aware that it wasn't like this before. As we're walking towards our destination, we're planting trees along the way where trees used to be, and you know, we're trying to rehabilitate the land. And you know, I did my part, and I felt really good about it.
It's a narrative.
Aside from planting the usual tree seedlings, Tito Greg discovered a more cost-effective way of reforestation.
I'm interested to know why you have branches in your hand as opposed to seedlings.
Recently, I had conducted experiments in my yard about this big tree. It's called balite in the local name, where you could plant stems of it and it will grow. If you would notice, they've got already roots in here. We just put it in the ground, and very high percentage it will grow on its own.
We like that, high percentage. Yes. Okay, let's give it a try.
Right. That's it. Then cover it.
As soon as we reached the Tanawan Falls, huge boulders and fresh water welcomed us.
There is no waterfall, there is no river, there is no lagoon that a game plan host cannot touch. So I had to go in. But of course, not without the egging of my producer, Ramil, who actually went before me. Okay, this guy, Golem, is the man. It was refreshing, quite a wake-up call because we arrived there around 8 a.m. and I needed the cold water to kind of wake me up. One of the greatest parts was we had a companion, man's best friend, follow us. His name was Putol, and he also went swimming.
From Tanawan, we headed to the local pier in Barangay Paltic, where a boat was waiting to take us to Barrio Di Kapanakian. The 1-hour boat trip brought us to lava formations which were living reminders of Dingalan's volcanic past. We also saw several wind and surf-carved caves along the way.
Welcome!
Dingalan, as its name implies, was home to thousands of native bats a few years ago. But due to human activity and the lack of awareness, bats were driven away from their primary breeding grounds.
We are now in Dingalan. Before, there used to be a road access. Bridges has been destroyed by former floods. Now, it's been quite some time that it's only accessible by boat.
So what do these people do here now?
Most of the people here live in forest products. And once again, civilian community like us don't really know who are the licensee of the logging concessions around here. But apparently, they would advertise that it's all legal because they cut woods in here.
The logs we saw in Dingalan were lumber grade and much bigger than those we found in the mainland.
The logs we saw here were huge. One of them, Bong calculated to be roughly 800 years old. So, you know, when this tree was barely 200 years old, the Philippines was just being founded by Magellan. So a lot of history just gone in a matter of minutes. Quite disheartening.
These are old, huh?
Adding to this sorry sight were loads of rocks, eroded soil, and uprooted plants in this spot where a river once was.
You would notice the number of logs that came down from the forest. Almost, say, 100 meters or a kilometer away from the shoreline is filled with logs. So, isn't that a manifestation that there's something going on?
Our group walked deeper into the forest in the hope of seeing some wild birds, which, according to Bong and Tito Greg, are abundant in the vicinity. Minutes passed and no sighting of a bird or bat in the area. Instead, we met a gun-toting local kid named Raimundo.
That is a powerful homemade gun. And it's a little kid manning it. Unbelievable. These birds don't have a chance.
Our chance meeting with Raimundo was indeed an eye-opener. In this case, it seems that educating the local community has a lot, if not everything, to do with the cause of environmental awareness.
Kasama nato sa sports nila, pero pagka ginawa ko ng tour guide si Raimundo, kikita na siya ng hindi sa pagbaril. Ipakikita lang niya yung ibon, susweldo na si Raimundo sa akin. Balang araw, ikaw ang tour guide ko.
Narity.